Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, dear students. So here we are going to start with this chapter's activities, basically the brainstorming activities. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the explanation part of the chapter, right? And now we will start with the brainstorming activities. So the very first question that we have to deal with is form groups and use the following topics for discussion. Take the help of your college library and your teacher. So basically what we have to do is we have to discuss about these topics. Okay, here are some of the topics. Need for democracy. Basically we have to discuss what's the need of democracy, then features of Constitution of India, then what's freedom of speech, dictatorship versus democracy, qualities of an individual, of an ideal politician, equality before law. These are some of the topics which we have to discuss. So the very first one is the need for democracy. So democracy is a fair way to put people into power. Okay, that why do we need democracy? That's what is discussed here. Freedom granted to individuals to live a life of their choice. Criticism from opposition to the government in power. Citizens' right to question every action of a democratic government. Disadvantages of other forms of government. Citizens of other countries suffering at the hands of supreme authority. Now, then another topic is features of the Constitution of India. So basically we have to discuss that what points can be discussed in it. So here are some of the points that we can discuss in this topic. That is, first is drafting of the Constitution of India. The second one is its structure, parts, schedules and appendices. Now coming to the third point, sections pertaining to the legislature, government and judiciary. And the fourth point that we need to discuss is flexibility and scope of amendments. Okay, now coming towards another topic, that is another point, that is freedom of speech. So what we can discuss in freedom of speech is the meaning and what it stands for, the necessity of freedom of speech, how people can suffer if freedom of speech is denied, adverse consequences of misuses of the freedom of speech. Now the another question is dictatorship versus democracy. Dictatorship is like basically the absolute rule of one person, absolute power of one person, and democracy is like for people, right? And as we know, which is run by the people. So explanation of the two terms, the way two governments function, examples of countries following each of the two systems, advantages of democracy over dictatorship, situations that justify the need for dictatorship. Now the another point is qualities of an ideal politician. So clean track record, a technically skilled and good orator, should be delivering on his promises, must be honest and have integrity, strive towards the public interest. Now coming towards another point, equality before law. All citizens are equal before the law, as we all know about this, right? No discrimination based on race, religion, gender, caste and place of birth. Why is it necessary in a democracy? Examples from the past that portray equality before the law. The another question is state whether the following statement is true or false. Correct the false statements. Basically what we have to do, we have to write if the statement is true or false, and after writing that, if it's true then it's fine, if not, if it's false basically, so we have to correct the statement and rewrite it. So the very first statement is there is nothing wrong with being grateful to great men. So obviously this statement is true as it has been stated in the chapter, right? So the statement is true. Now the another one, hero worship leads to dictatorship. So this statement is false because it's not given like this in the chapter. How it is? Now the correct part will be hero worship in politics leads to dictatorship. It was not talked about not discussed in general. It was particularly talking about the politics. If you do the hero worshipping in politics, that will lead to the dictatorship. Okay, is that clear? Now moving towards another one, liberty cannot be divorced from equality. So obviously liberty cannot be divorced from the equality. So it's true. One man, one vote, and one vote, one value. As we already discussed this in chapter, right? However rich or poor you are, or you belong to the higher caste or the lower caste, doesn't matter. If you are an Indian citizen, you have a right to cast one vote, and that one vote will be valued or counted as one. So the statement is true. Now the last one, fraternity means common sense. So obviously it's false. Fraternity means the a sense of common brotherhood. So basically the it's wrong. So the correct statement is given in front of you. Now coming towards this one. In his speech, B.R. Ambedkar has expressed his deep concern over the absence of two things in the Indian society. Discuss with your partner and complete the web. So what basically it's talking over here, basically in the speech of B.R. Ambedkar, he expressed one of the very deep concern, and he talked about two of the absent things at that time. Okay, and that's what we need to discuss. So absence of two things in the then Indian society. So of that time of Indian society, what was the two things that was missing that he expressed in his speech? So these are the points: social and economic equality, and second is recognition of the principle of fraternity. These were the two things which was missing, which B.R. Ambedkar has mentioned or discussed in his speech. Now, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has cited the quotes by John Stuart Mill and Daniel O'Connell. Go through the lesson and write down 4 to 5 lines for each of them. Now, basically, like as we already discussed the chapter, we have already been done with the explanation of the chapter. So we have come to know that there were the lines discussed by John Stuart Mill and Daniel O'Connell, which he talked over here. So that's what we need to talk over here. Okay, that what exactly they said, what exactly they stated, that's what we have to talk over here. So now here, see the first one, first question. Now here is the John Stuart Mill's and Daniel O'Connell's statements. So what John Stuart Mill said in the extract, John Stuart Mill has been quoted as not to lay their liberties at the feet of even a great man, or to trust him with powers which enable him to subvert their institutions. This is a word of caution for the people who trust in democracy. It is but natural to get overwhelmed by the achievements of a great man. At the same time, it is not wise enough to entrust him with all the powers that he can possibly misuse, which can eventually cause damage to the institution. So this is what have been stated by the John Stuart Mill, his opinions and his views. Now coming to us towards the Daniel O'Connell. So what he stated in the same extract, Daniel O'Connell has been quoted as no man can be grateful at the cost of his honor, no woman can be grateful at the cost of her chastity, and no nation can be grateful at the cost of its liberty. Daniel talks about the limitations of being grateful to great men, similar to how a man and a woman need to safeguard their honor and chastity respectively while being grateful. A nation must safeguard its liberty. In short, the quote emphasizes the importance of liberty when compared to the gratefulness. Coming towards another question, discuss with your partner and make a list of steps that you feel are essential to unite the people of different castes, races, religions and languages in India. So basically this question you have to do it on your own. Okay, you have to figure it out that what according to you, what do you feel the things which is essential to unite the people, which kind of people it's talking over here. It's about the the people of different caste, different races, religion, languages over in India basically. So what are the some of the important steps or the some of the measures you can take, or you can do something to unite these different people together. So what you can do, or what should be the steps, what are the steps that should be taken, that's what you have to write. Now coming towards another one, write your views, opinions and brief on the following topics. So here are some of the topics given, and on that we have to discuss about the topic. Okay, the very first topic is we must always cast our votes. So why should we cast our votes? What's the importance of the vote? That's what we have to discuss over here. Voting is every citizen's right in a democracy, and it should be exercised religiously. Voting makes sure the right candidates get elected and run our government. We cannot blame the non-performance of a government if we do not turn out to vote. Not casting a vote is equivalent to not having faith in democracy. So this is what it's all about. Now coming towards another point, liberty, equality and fraternity lead to an ideal nation. So what we can discuss about it, liberty, equality and fraternity are considered the trinity of democracy. Liberty gives impetus for progress, equality ensures equal opportunities and contentment, and fraternity provide a healthy atmosphere and solidarity in times of distress. These three essentials go hand in hand in an ideal nation. The another one, steps to be taken to eradicate inequality. So if we have to remove inequality, so what we can do for that, what should be the steps taken for that? The preliminary steps to eradicate inequality are imparting education and empowering individuals. These steps to eradicate economic inequality would include employment generation and redistribution of wealth. This can be achieved by a progressive collection of taxes. Social inequality needs to be addressed through social awareness. Strict laws should be formulated and implemented against those who indulge in discrimination. Now, the another point, role of youth in creating social awareness. So, what is the role of basically of the youth in social awareness? The youth are the future of a nation. Their contemporary views matter the most and should reach the masses at large. They are an energetic lot and have the ability to execute changes. They know what is in their best interest, and with technology by their side, the youth has all the avenues necessary to create social awareness. Now, the another point, let's use a thesaurus along with your partner. Go to library or search the internet for a standard thesaurus to complete the following table. One is done for you. What we have to do, here are five columns in one table. First column is serial number, another is word, and then the type of that word, then what are the synonyms that we can use for it, and then antonyms. Okay, so that's what we have to do. The words are observe, abandoned, grateful, initiative, peril and separation. So the first one, observe, the type is verb and synonym is notice, discern, detect or mark. These are the synonyms, and antonyms are ignore, overlook. This was basically already given, right? We have to start from the second one. So the second one is abandoned. So this is basically verb, okay, and the synonyms are discarded, rejected, deserted and dropped. If you talk about the antonyms, means the opposite words, that is adopted and maintained. Now the third one is grateful. So the type of word is adjective and the synonyms are thankful, indebted or obliged. And now if we talk about antonyms, so it's thankless, rude or ungrateful. Coming towards the fourth one, the word is initiative and the kind of word is noun, and the synonyms are action, drive, push or leadership. Now the antonyms is apathy and inactivity. The fifth one is peril and the type of word is noun, and the meaning is synonyms basically hazard, jeopardy and pitfall. The antonyms are certainty, protection, security. Now the sixth one is separation and the type of word is noun. So the meaning are partition, departure, split, segregation. And now coming towards antonyms, so it's connection and union. So now the following homographs can be found in the extract. Now basically the question is that we have to talk about the homophones basically. Okay, like the homophones basically homographs, what it is basically like, one word will be there, but the same word will contain the different meanings. Okay, the word will be the same, even the spellings will be same, but it can be used for the different meaning at in the different sentences. So here are some of the homographs given in front of you. So the very first one is form, which is the meaning of that, visible shape of a thing. Okay, now another form is used for a document with information. Then apart from that comes the left. So one left is used for relating to the side, right? And another left is used for the past tense of leave. right? Now another one is deal. So the deal is used for commercial activity or trading. The another deal is used for distributing cards in order. Now the word comes second, so it's numerically following the first, and second unit for measuring time. Now coming towards the feet. So feet is basically the base of legs, and coming towards another meaning of feet is unit of measuring length. Now coming towards the even, so flat or smooth. Then another even means the emphasize with surprise. And now the third even means any number divisible by 2 without leaving a remainder. Now coming towards the part, some but not the whole of anything. The another part means move away from each other. So like that only there are many other words also, like accent, bad, grave, leave, litter, record, just, path. The wound are some other homographs that we commonly hear. So I hope